Welcome back to PASC26 and our highlights of the mini symposium. Joining me here, I have Ahmad Nawab from ECMWF, European Center of Middle and Weather Forecast, and that probably wins the prize for this year's most interesting title. What the Fortran? Drowning in Waves Edition. Tell me more about it. What is this?
So this has been a running series that we've been doing at PASC. And we're basically taking different parts of IFS, which is ECMWF's operational weather forecasting model. And we're inviting industrial and academic partners to give us some insights and their expertise in terms of getting the most performance out of our codes on their systems, on their architectures.
So you had an illustrious set of speakers this year, both from NVIDIA, ETH, AMD, and then Intel.
Yes.
That's everyone in the industry, right?
Yes, we're really lucky that they agree every year, and then PASC also hosts us to do this. It leads to much better codes and much more insight on our part on
co-design, and this is what the entire PASC project, not just the conference, is about.
Yes.
So tell me more about this year's mini symposium. Were there any particular highlights, surprising things? What was, in your view?
So what was good to see was that both the GPUs were, EC1, the wave model that was the focus of this year's mini symposium, this has recently been ported to GPUs, but we never had we never had experts look into it in detail. And this year we got expertise from AMD and NVIDIA to look at it. And they both found very impressive gains. So we're eager to have a longer debrief with them afterwards and integrate as much of their suggestions as possible.
And I know this is a very important challenge for weather and the climate models in general, right? They're difficult to port to accelerators, and yet there are some of our most important codes.
Yes, so the term that's often used is legacy, but the word I heard today in another discussion was living. So these are living codes that have been developed organically over decades. And sometimes the software stack that they were built on is not kept up to pace with recent developments. The hardware and software landscape is moving very quickly in computing at the moment. So it's great to have help from the expertise of industrial partners to help modernize these codes.
So I guess this is both hopeful and scary, that on the one hand having all these vendors aboard, but then we realize how fast the hardware is moving. Do you think there is hope to form some sort of stronger international consortia involving multiple countries, scientists, to actually move all these big codes so that they can use accelerators, or are we always going to be hopelessly behind the hardware?
It really depends. A lot of the times the hardware will follow the biggest commercial opportunity. So, and that will vary, and it's perfectly fine for that to happen, as long as, even if we're not at the very cutting edges, if we can still, we don't have to be, for example, as long as we are using the new hardware effectively for science, even if it wasn't developed for science. And if we can play catch up a bit, that's also fine.
Cool. So this was mostly about Waves and Fortran. Are these vendors also working on AI solutions with you? Or?
Yes, so ECMWF is now also doing, operationally doing data-driven weather forecasting with AIFS, and the same vendors are working with AIFS as well. With those, sometimes the same people who are really stretched thin, working on the physical model and the data-driven model.
So that might be what we have to talk about next year. Any last comments? Where should we go next?
I think there's a lot more code for us to get insights from our partners from, and now that we developed the ideas for this mini symposium before the advent of AI agents. Yep. And I think our proposal for next year has to really be centered around AI agents, because it's really a paradigm shift for software development, also for scientific software development.
I think that's a great call to action. Ahmed, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us.